and get into it, the internet. So I made a promise last weekend to try and resolve the problem of the poor internet that we have. Yes. So I did some speed tests this morning, and obviously this is going to change due to weather and so on, but as it is at the moment, the workshop Wi-Fi, which is a Vodafone rural broadband, is giving us a download speed of 51 megabytes per second and an upload of 16.5 approximately. It does fluctuate, and it went down to probably about 12 was about the minimum, which isn't great to be honest for a rural broadband. The data, I did a speed test on the phone that I transmit with for the live stream, and download was right down to 20 megabytes per second, and upload was only 3.5. There's your problem. I mean, you're only supposed to need 3 minimum, but hey, it could easily drop below that from time to time, so hence why we no doubt we're getting some problems. And now I had tried it a couple of years ago to use the workshop Wi-Fi for transmission purposes, and we struggled for signal, but it seems to be better now. So let me know, please, what the picture's like and the audio. Normally it's the picture that struggles. Right, let's get into it. Let me just get the old live stream fired up on here. So I've got the transmission phone connected to the workshop Wi-Fi up there, and I've got my laptop for receiving all the stuff and watching the live stream and getting the comments connected to my personal phone with the slow internet. So if anybody's going to struggle, it's going to be me rather than everybody else in the world. Okay, lots of comments coming in. Let me just see what's going on. Dum 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 dum. Simon, Mr. Raw. Nice videos, by the way, Simon, on your boat. Enjoyed those. Morning, Andy and crew. The second thumbnail is better, lol. Huh? What second thumbnail? I only put one up. Purple Monkey 1974. Hi guys and gals. Absolutely. Good morning, Purple Monkey. Roger Heaps. Good morning, Andy and crew. Good morning, Roger. Mike Adams. Howdy all. Good morning, Mike, and howdy to you too, sir. George Bonnie 90. Hello everybody. Big thumbs up. Cheers, George. Daz 323323. Morning, Andy and crew. Good morning, Daz. Welcome back to the workshop, sir. Daniel Beddle. Hello, mate. How are you doing? Both seem to be good. Excellent. Thank you, Daniel. That's a good start, at least. Scott, mint. Cheers, Scott. Appreciate that. Matowix. I get by on 1 megabyte a second on Vodafone unlimited mobile data. Wow, that's pretty good going, isn't it? Peter Woodfine. Hello, everybody. Pick is good and and so is the sound. Excellent. Thank you, Peter. Simon had a very nice day fishing. Turned the engine off a few miles out to sea, and it's so quiet. Apart from every now and again, you get that doo-dum, 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 doo-dum. You know the fin? You got it. Okay, good stuff. Scott, I also thought thumbnail changed. Did it? I don't know. It shouldn't have done. 1967. Hi, Andy and crew from Australia. I'm a bit worried now what the thumbnail is. Who knows? You have to explain to me what the first thumbnail was. Anybody that saw it. 1967 DKB. Hi, Andy and crew from Australia. Good morning, 1967 DKB. Welcome to the workshop. Daniel. Got hurt yesterday on a project. That's not good at all, is it? How did you manage to hurt yourself, Daniel? Mike Adams, on my end, your audio is excellent as usual. Your video is clear enough. I can almost count the blonde hairs over your shoulder. I don't think they're blonde, they're grey, mate. They're grey. Oh dear. Simon, it was the side of your head, ponytail. Really? I have a little habit here. When you set a live stream, it asks you to take a thumbnail photo, which of course I have to take a picture. There's no way of getting beyond that without taking a photo. And then once you've taken the photo, then you can change it and upload whatever picture you've taken. And I always take a thumbnail photo before the live stream. So the habit that I have is often I'll just make a stupid face to the camera, like, come on, you know, what are you going at? But anyway, definitely the second photo is better. So you caught me out there. Thanks, YouTube. Appreciate that. Scott, I think it may have just got clearer thumbnail. I think it may have just got clearer thumbnail. Okay. Mike Adams, well, it's blurring in and out a little bit, off and on. By the way, I meant the blonde hairs on the calendar. Oh, that's okay. Over your shoulder on the wall. That makes a lot more sense. There, look, nice. Scott, got clearer. Okay, so clearly, pardon the pun, the workshop internet tends to fluctuate quite a bit. So I've got no real way of monitoring that because I've run out of phones. That one's, I could do a speed test on this one. It might upset the live stream though, I don't know. Let's see what it is now. Oh, don't want that one. Go back. Internet speed test. I usually use the Chorus one. I don't use the Vodafone one because I think that's biased. So bear with me. Oh, hang on. No, that's off the Wi-Fi. No, I can't do it. All I can do is my phone, which is the laptop now. So confusion reigns. Anyway, we'll just plod on. It does seem to be better. I mean, even my image here, which is off my phone, is still pretty damn good, to be honest. Now then, where do we get to? JJ. What's he say? Warnie Onion crew. There you go. Big thumbs up. 4 thumbs up, in fact. Daniel Bedell sent you some pictures. Oh, you're a brave chap. Might use up my internet. Let's have a look. You did, Daniel. Oh, no. Oh, that's bad. Holy crap. What did you do? Are they are? Well, is it stitches or super glue they've used? It looks a bit manky, to be honest. Massive bump on your head. Daniel, can I show these on the live stream? You have to let me know, because I'm not going to show them just yet without your authorization. Mike's Automotive Diagnostics, late to the party once again. I was cutting down a tree. Good excuse. I'll let you get away with that one. 1967. What's the pie today? Good segue. Okay, so the pie today is steak and cheese. Now, this has come out of the freezer. Mrs. Mechanic bought it, probably last weekend, I think it was. It's from a baker's called Bakerman's in a little village shop township called Tokoroa, not too far away. And the pie looks like this. Here we are. Look, I'll do its camera. Boom, 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 boom. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? There we go. It was called a mystery pie because I've forgotten where it came from. Mrs. Mechanic enlightened me while I was doing before I was prepping for the live stream. So there we go. Look, that is, geez, it's going to be another puff pastry disaster, isn't it? There is the pie. Pretty traditional sort of oval base to it. This is made at Bakerman's Bakery. It's, in-house fabrication, production. So we'll see how they get on. We'll put it in the pie warmer in a minute. I'll just catch up with the comments. Now then. Kill Switch. Good morning, Kill Switch. Oh, hang on. Geez, you guys are fast. Simon, it seemed okay if you don't move the camera. Okay. That could be a problem. Daniel Bedell's glue. They glued your head back together. Jeez. And I can show the photos. So here we are, people. Hopefully nobody's queasy. Right, there you go. That's photo 1. That's back of shoulder bar, looks of it, underarm. And you've got a very famous... Oh, I see. You're holding the ice on your head to try and keep the lump in. Good luck, good man. And that's the after. Ooh, you're going to get a black eye by looks of it. And there's the lump. That's lovely, that is, isn't it? Sort of elephant man. Wow. Well, it'll get better. Don't you worry, mate. But how did you do that? Did you fall off a ladder or something dumb like that? I nearly fell off a ladder a few times going up onto doing the roof for the new deck, which is far from finished. Now then, Kill Switch and in crew. Sorry for not being around for the last few weeks. Been a busy time here in the UK. Work, new puppies, and training them. They're a nightmare. But I have been catching up when time allows. Good man. Well, there weren't too many videos for me to catch up on, to be honest. So maybe I've helped you out there. As you can see from the body behind and the thumbnail, I spent all day yesterday on the bike. Very slow, to be honest, because I haven't done any filming for probably about 2 months. So it took me a while to get back into it again. But we got 2 videos in the can, which I'm going to edit up while I'm on the road in the South Island, which was my plan. I'm not going to give you any spoiler alerts whatsoever, but we will have a little wander around the bike later on, and hopefully we won't lose the internet whilst we do so. I'll probably do it at the same time as putting the pie in the pie warmer. Jim Haynes, good morning, Jim. I was using some of those ratchets yesterday. I'm here today live as we don't race the weekend before our national race in Nebraska. A short 1,300-mile trip. Holy moly, mate, you are dedicated. I take it you drive that distance. That is just mental. Jim K, good morning, Jim. Welcome back to the workshop, sir. Daniel, it gets a 4 for the boxing. Yeah, Connor K, morning Andy and crew, and Mystery Pie. Yes, well, it's not a mystery anymore. I know where it's from now, but it just seemed to emerge out of the freezer. Now, where do we get to? Oh, geez, you guys are quick. Mike Adams, I've learnt that internet and Wi-Fi signals can fluctuate with atmosphere, just like an AM frequency on a radio or a CB. That does seem to be what we're experiencing here, I must admit. I mean, the mast, honestly, the mast is it's probably 3, maybe 4 kilometers away in that direction. Line of sight, what more can I say? It should be great, but on the big hill that it's on, and it is a big hill for this area, it's probably one of the highest points around, it often gets cloud around it, you know, top of the hill. So maybe that's a limiting factor. That can explain the signal being in and out from time to time. Yes, well, the weather today is perfect, so fingers crossed the internet will stay good enough for the live stream. I feel really bad that you guys have had to put up with horrifically pixelated live streams recently, and it's not good. It's not good. It's not about, I try to make the videos that I do as good quality as possible, but the live streams recently have seriously let things down. And there's no way of improving it. We live very local, very rurally, and we can't get things like fiber here. The internet in the house is VDSL. It comes down the old phone line. The old phone lines are probably from the 1950s. I don't think they've ever been improved, even if they had phones back then. I think they did. So there's no, I can't make any more improvements at the moment. Vodafone don't offer anything else. Daniel, nope, no black eyes. Not yet, you wait. Simon Roll, got to be sore for a few days. Oh man, you'll be getting headaches, I'm sure. Daniel, because I immediately put ice on it, literally seconds after it happened. That's far better than what I'd have done. I'm terrible. When I hurt myself, I tend to just carry on. Mike, Daniel, thank God you survived your accident. Absolutely. Daniel, thanks, Mike. Daz, when you heading back on the road? I'll be on the road pretty much exactly this time tomorrow. I'll be leaving probably about 9 a.m. I'll be on the road. And all I have to do tomorrow is get to Wellington, and I'm staying over in Wellington and catch the early ferry, and I'm down to Christchurch for Monday night, and then all the way down to Queenstown from Christchurch. On the Tuesday morning ferry down to Christchurch for Tuesday night, and then Wednesday I've got to get to Queenstown. Need to be in Queenstown for Wednesday as early as I can be, to be honest. Early evening, I would say. Tea time. I've got to meet up with some of my work colleagues down there. and some of the motorcycle shop owners as well should be there as well. So that should be good. And then I've got a couple of days sorting that out. Friday, so Thursday I've got meetings all day in Queenstown, and then Friday I've got a couple of motorcycle shop visits to do. Saturday, Sunday, there'll obviously be a live stream from Queenstown on Sunday morning, so I'll be seeing you there. I'll try and find somewhere with some decent internet though, that's the thing. And the pubs are not open that time in the morning. Bugger. Mike Adams, looked like a horrendous crash. It looks like you headbutted something pretty hard. Jim Haynes, I couldn't tell from those photos was it his wife or girlfriend that hit him. Good one, Jim. Roger, hopefully Butcher has finished the bacon this week. Otherwise, there'll be no taste test next week. Oh no, Roger, that's not good. That's not good at all. Give him a kick. Get him in line. Come on. Simon, a bit of studio engineering and 3K of cable, lol. Let's go and tap into the mast direct. That'll work. There's a couple of roads in the way. That's the problem. Sheldon is in the workshop. Good morning, Sheldon. Sheldon says, good morning, party people and Andy. Sheldon gives us a round of applause. Top bloke. Connor K, be aware, Andy, a few of the other mechanic YouTube channels are reporting about scammers pretending to run contests / giveaways under the YouTube channel names. Really? That's not good. At the moment, all I've experienced is post live stream, and I apologize on behalf of YouTube, to be honest. Post live stream, a number of comments go on which are clearly scam comments. They're trying to promote a particular type of website. Please don't click on them. And I do try to delete them as quickly as I can, and I do report them. So hopefully over time, YouTube will pick up on them automatically and delete them. You know, they do pop up pretty much straight after the live stream. They may even pop up during, well, no, they would, because it would come in the chat. So as soon as I finish live streaming, broadcasting, then that's when they start to fire out these. And I'm sure it's all done by a computer somewhere in Russia, probably. But no, thank you for that, Connor. I'll keep my eye open for that. Daz, Tesla do a satellite internet. I think it's called Starlink. Ooh, that sounds expensive. Okay, I'll look it up. I'll see what it's about. I mean, you know, it's worth a try, I suppose, isn't it? As long as it does uploads as well as downloads. I'll take a picture of that. Boom, got that in the phone. So I'll find that photo at some point to remind me. I'm trying to get caught up with the comments. McPherson, good name. Thanks for educating us. That's all right, matey. I just say how it is and what I know. And there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. But making the videos is a huge learning curve for me. Like working on this bike here. Never worked on a Trump before. So it's interesting stuff. They've done things in a very, very different way to how I would expect it to be done. But anyway, it seems to work most of the time. You can see why bikes evolved though, can't you? Connor K, South Main Auto, amongst others. Really? Holy crap. What's the world coming to? Daniel Bedell, a garage door axle. A garage door axle arm that was under 3 full revolutions of tension came detached from the wall and assaulted me. Man, that could have been really nasty. I mean, obviously it hit you just between the eyes. Imagine if that had hit you in one of your eyes. That would have been catastrophic. Now, you actually were very lucky in an unlucky kind of way, if you know what I mean. Yeah, maybe the gods were looking down on you that day. Now I have some more battle scars. You sure have, matey. You sure have. Right, I have caught up with the comments. We're going to attempt to move around the workshop. I'm going to turn the camera around. 3, 2, 1, boom. Okay, so the internet at the moment for this phone is flowing from that black box up there. So hopefully it'll keep flowing. And I'm not going to move around too quick. Let's do the pie. Boom, 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 boom. Now let me know if the video starts to suffer because of my movements. It's not ideal, but we have to get to the pie warmer. Critical part of the live stream. There we go. It's in. No, I've not cleaned it. I haven't cleaned the pie warmer. Look at the state of that now. It's getting quite black inside, isn't it? Gets regular use though. It's very good. Even Mrs. Mechanic brings pies out from the house to warm up in there. Okay, so the Bonnie. I don't want to give too much away because it's going to spoil the videos. You can tell it's a bit more naked now. The exhausts have come off just to gain access. That's a clue. Come around this side. And this is as far as we've got. Okay, so there you go. Look, there's some stuff gone. What I found was absolutely incredible that I've never come across before is rather than a selector drum, this bike has a selector disc for the three forks. So most bizarre, really is. I don't think there's anything in there that's going to give you an indication of what happened or why I'm in there, but that's okay. What I will say is the guy that put this thing together used a massive amount of sealant. There's sealant absolutely everywhere, including inside the gearbox, which is not ideal. Not ideal at all. But other than that, that's pretty much all we've taken off. That was a day's work with filming. Also, he's been using what looks like red Halomar as a gasket sealant or an exhaust sealant, which I don't think is particularly heat resistant, to be honest. If we go over to the exhausts, we're going to go closer to the internet now, so it should get better. You can see here, look, even down between the downpipe, the header pipe, and the muffler, the silencer, if you're in England, he used the same stuff on there, and it's quite badly burnt, and it was all spewed inside the silencer as well. There, look, you see, look. So I don't think the gentleman was particularly mechanically adept on this kind of stuff. He really didn't know what he was doing, so not good at all. Anyway, we're going to head back over here. There's not much else to show you in the workshop today, unfortunately. So I'll turn you around. 3, 2, 1, boom. There we go. Now hopefully that's going to be about right for the camera. I don't know. Where are we at? Going to work? Are we in the right place? There, I always try and get the door just... There we are. That'll work. Perfect. Okay, so back to the comments. Let's see where we go from here. Daniel, yes, I am lucky. You are very lucky, matey, to be honest. Simon, does the Tesla internet lose its capacity within the first year? Top bloke. Mike Adams, on the scam, John Schneider, aka Bo Duke, is one of the YouTubers that has had issues with those scammers a few times. Well, that's a bugger. And I do like the Dukes of Hazzard. I'm a huge fan of the Dukes of Hazzard. Phenomenal series. In fact, we were watching a movie a while ago and Roscoe P. Coltrane was in it. And I recognised him straight away. He's passed away now, unfortunately. Nice chap. Really good character in that series. I enjoyed Roscoe. It was a good laugh. Now then. Daniel, I also got to see some stars. And no, they weren't the ones on Hollywood Boulevard. I bet it knocked you for 6, mate. That's horrific. But how on earth would you have even seen that coming, to be honest? Because the fact that it ripped itself out of the wall, jeez, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. You were very unlucky that it happened, but very lucky in the fact that it didn't take out one of your eyes. Mike's Automotive Diagnostics. Starlink isn't available in all areas. Okay, I'll check it out. I mean, New Zealand, we're in the pretty much middle of frigging nowhere, so chances are we can't get it here. Daniel Bedell. Mike, are you familiar with the TV show Dukes of Hazzard? JJ, hit the like button, everybody. Thanks, JJ. I always forget to mention that. What does Captain Slow say? He says, comment, like, and subscribe, is what he says. Top bloke. Now, Daniel, Bo and Duke were the brothers that had the General Lee, right? Yes, absolutely. In fact, they had many, many, many General Lees, but they only showed one at a time on the camera most of the time. But they actually destroyed a lot of those cars, and now they're worth, most likely because, or partly because of the Dukes of Hazzard series, they're worth a lot of money. One of Ben's sort of bucket lists is to own a Dodge Charger of that era. I forget the year or the model, but he wants to have a Dukes of Hazzard car, the General Lee, because they're a cool car. I mean, let's face it, they are a very cool car. Good for humpback bridge jumps, that's for sure. Sheldon, it'll be high temp exhaust sealant being red. Okay, well, it didn't coat very well, and again the guy just blathered it all over the place. I'm pretty sure there's some better stuff we can use when we put it back together. Pete Woodfine, Bo and Luke Duke are cousins. That's right. Simon Roll, sounds like a right hack using red RTV on headers. Had the gearbox oil been compromised with sealant? No, the only sealant, I didn't find any floaty sealant in the gearbox, but for some bizarre reason, there seems to be some smears of sealant against the sides of the gearbox wall, especially on the back wall towards the rear of the bike. Is it porous? Has the casting gone porous? Really? I don't know. Was it just a messy guy putting it together? I don't know. I must admit, rebuilding that gearbox, the way that it's set up with the disc selector, it looks complicated. It looks like it's going to be a real mission to get the thing back together. But hey, came apart pretty easy, to be honest. So it shouldn't be too bad. But the problem for me is there's going to be a delay. Without giving anything away, there's going to be a delay before it goes back together again, because obviously it's still coming apart. I've not finished the strip down yet. I need to get the main shaft out. And to do that on a Trumpf is a bit of a mission, in all honesty. Luckily, I've got 3 manuals. I've got the original Triumph manual, I've got a Haynes manual, and I've got another one that's made by somebody else. I forget the brand. And at least the Haynes one's got some decent photos in it. The original Triumph manual is all drawings, and they're very hit and miss, in all honesty. They're not very clear. It's good that manuals have got better over the years. But yeah, it's quite alien to me, is that disc selector. But hey, you know, I can understand how it works. It's not a problem. Now, where do we get to? Mike, yes, sir. Since the show debuted on CBS, I've been a big fan of the Dukes and Top Gear. I like Top Gear too. Dukes of Hazzard. I mean, we've got the entire box set of Dukes of Hazzard on DVD. That's how loyal we are to that particular series, and it still rumbles on now. There's constantly references to the Dukes of Hazzard in normal life, you know. I think it's probably that it was them that got me onto CB radios as well. Not that I use them very much anymore, apart from on the big bike trip in January, which one day you'll get to see. I used to be well into CB radios. We used to use them all the time at the off-road centre. We had probably 50 or 60 of them. It was pretty cool. Mike Adams. Actually, Bo and Luke were cousins, yes, and yes, the General Lee. Daniel Bedell. I'm even luckier because it could have killed me. It could have killed you, sir. It could have done. 68, 72 years. Oh, for the General Lee, yeah. I don't know which one Ben wants, but they're just getting ridiculously expensive now. They really are. And of course, it would have to be a manual. He would never drive an auto. And I agree with him. It would have to be a manual. John Nuttall, show me inside the clean rat drawers. I can't, John, because I haven't cleaned them out yet. The aroma has gone, and in all honesty, I haven't really needed to go in those drawers apart from the bottom one to get my torque wrench. And I always make sure I've got gloves on. But no, I haven't cleaned them yet. But there's definitely no ratties around. We've solved that problem. There's no mice. Mr. Micey's gone. There's no rats around. We've solved that problem. But yes, I just haven't had the time. I've been too busy doing the stuff like, oh, Andy, can you have a look at the Bonnie for us? There's a bit of a problem. Yeah. It's going to be here for a while. I don't think it's going to take as long as the CB750 to do, And I really don't want it hanging around for 18 months. I really don't. But it's interesting. I've got to look on the bright side. It's a learning adventure. But it does, to be honest, it gets in the way a lot. You know, if we're sandblasting in the workshop, then the bike has to go outside. And of course, now the gearbox exposed. So I've got to make sure it's all sealed up and that kind of stuff. So, bit of a problem. A pain. So, sorry, John. It's not going to happen. Mike Adams, Mike's Automotive Diagnostics. General Lee or Smoking the Bandit car, everyone? Ooh, that's a good one, isn't it? I think personally, I'd have to go with the General Lee. I mean, I think Mr. Reynolds' Smoking the Bandit car is awesome. Don't get me wrong, but the General Lee's done more. It's done a lot more. I mean, those jumps that it did, just phenomenal. You know, and just charging around the tree at the start of each episode. You know, that's cool. As a kid, that's what you wanted. That's what I wanted to do when I grew up, was just drive around a tree in a circle and just slide it out and make lots of dust and charge off down gravel roads like an idiot. And to be fair, I managed to do that for about 13 years when I had my off-road centre. So I said I was living the dream. It was good fun. So yes, place your votes now. Smokey and the Bandit car, or the General Lee. George Bonnie 90, what's your go-to flashlight when working on something? Torchy. I'll go and get it. Bear with me. I won't take the camera because it might affect the internet. Here we go. Right. So, magnetic torches are great when you're working on cars because you click them under the bonnet and stuff. But on bikes, there's usually not really a flat surface that's magnetic. So, it doesn't really matter too much. This is not a magnetic torch. This is it just uses the standard Makita batteries, which is great because there's always one charged up. And it's got two settings. I won't try and kill the camera too much. That's high, that's low, half of the LEDs light up, and then that's off again. I did buy a couple of these for work recently. They have changed this slightly now. It's got 3 settings on the new one, and it's a slightly different configuration of hinge. But other than that, it's about the same, to be honest. It's really good. I like it a lot. I use it a lot in my videos. It's nice and bright. Because it stands up and it's quite stable as well, it sort of sits on the bench and provides some good light for the videos. And because it's battery powered, the LEDs don't create flickering on the camera. So, Torchy wins all round. Good job, Torchy. And they're not over expensive, to be honest. You know, you just buy them without the batteries and they're about 50, 60 bucks. I think it was maybe 70 bucks now. Everything's gone up in price. Here is a link to find out more about Skynet. Oh, did you send it on Messenger? Send the link on Messenger, Daniel. That might be easier because it's not showing on here. I don't think YouTube like links on comments, so maybe they just remove it. Sheldon, that jump that's on the start of each episode over the river was pretty nuts. It was, and the thing about the Dukes of Hazzard is there was no CGI back then. This is the series, right? There was no CGI. Those jumps, somebody actually really did that, the stunt drivers. And thanks, Daniel. And that in itself builds massive credibility to the whole thing. It's like on the old James Bond film where they jump a bridge and the bridge is sort of spiraled. Somebody did that. That wasn't just, it didn't not happen. It wasn't a computer generated thing. It actually happened. And it was pretty damn cool. And that to me gives brilliant credibility. I'm still struggling to find a movie that I remember as a kid. Now, I've watched, talking to Burt Reynolds, I've watched Hooper. Now, Hooper is a movie about a stuntman, right? And Burt Reynolds plays the main role. And it's a very similar movie to what I remember, but it didn't have the sequence in it that I remember as a kid. And it may be that I'm remembering it wrong. But the opening sequence was a car driving around, I think almost like an old factory kind of area. And there was a massive tower. And they blew the tower, back a big chimney. They blew the chimney. And the car drove away from the chimney, directly away, and as the chimney came down, the car, if my finger's the car, the chimney did this, And I remember it just missing the back of the car. It was a single take job, and he very nearly got hit by the chimney. It was so close. Now, in the Hooper movie, there's a very similar sequence, but there isn't the camera angle showing the car driving directly away from the chimney, and there was a much bigger gap between the car and the chimney. So, whether it's my imagination just embellishing the movie as a child when I was watching it, or whether there's a different movie with a similar kind of storyline of a stuntman or this particular sequence anyway, where this chimney just the same misses the back of the car. It was so close. It was unbelievable. And I'm sure it was a lot closer than what they planned it to be. So if you've ever watched a movie with that in it, send me an email, because I'll only forget in the comments. Flick me an email through and send me a link to the movie, or just give me the name of the movie and I'll find it and download it. Hang on, let's keep going back a bit. Oh my word, loads of comments. Right, Mike Adams, 69 Dodge Charger RT 440 rated at 175 horsepower versus a 77 Firebird with a 6.6 litre 400 cubic inch V8 rated at 212 horsepower. Though both are great looking cars, the General is the winner for me. Good man. I like all the specs, to be fair. I do. Yes, I have to go with the Dodge Charger. I mean, it really is an iconic car, isn't it? The new ones, I think they've managed to keep some of the lines and the heritage to it all. And yeah, I'm sure they go a lot quicker now, the new ones. But I just like the old ones. I really like the exhaust noise that the General Lee gave out. That sort of throaty, yeah. It used to sort of fluctuate. It used to sort of it was almost like the exhaust was flapping. You know, it was cool. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was cool. As a kid, it was the car, wasn't it? Mike's Automotive Diagnostics. My neighbour is a Triumph guy. I can check to see if he has some books for you. Oh, cheers, matey. That would be helpful. He also may, as we get more into the series, as the videos start to go out, then maybe if you ask him to watch some of those videos, he'll probably be one of the 3 people that do, maybe he'll be able to give me some pointers, because at this current time, again, without giving anything away, at this point in time, with the stage that I've got with the diagnostic and the disassembly and the inspection, I'm not 100% sure that I've found the primary fail. Don't know. I'm not, I'm still a bit open-minded as to why did it happen. I mean, it's not like the bike's got tons of power. So anyway, there you go. I can't say any more. You're going to have to watch the videos, and they should be out over the next few weeks. But no, I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you. George Bonnie 90. I say the General Lee, top bloke. Daniel Bedell. Here's a link to find out more about Skynet. Cheers. Sheldon. Oh, hang on. What's going on here? I've shot back and come back up again. Hang on. Shane. Hello, also from Australia. Good morning, Shane. Welcome aboard, matey. Where do we get to? Daniel Bedell, aka Starlink. Thank you. Scott. Got to be the Dodge. Cheers, Scott. Daniel Bedell. Okay. Simon Roll. You need to be admin on a stream to put links up. Ah, you see. There you go. Shane. I'm getting auto setting. Getting 480p. Oh, okay. So it's dropped down in quality a little bit at your end. But that might be your internet and not my upload internet. The picture at the moment on the laptop looks pretty good, actually. I can't show you it because obviously it'd be as bad as the live stream thing. Complicated stuff, but it seems to be all right. Seems a lot better than last week. Right, Pete Woodfine. Send the link, just don't put the ###. Oh, okay. Anyway, I've got it on Messenger now, I'm all good. Daniel Bedell. Screw the Bandit and the General Lee cars. I'm going for the kit car. Really? The kit car. I mean, it was a cool car. It was. And I mean, again, as a kid, I was very enthralled in the series. I used to look forward to Knight Rider very much. And it had all the gizmos and gadgets, whereas the General Lee was a raw, grassroots, pure V8 noise and dust and Nah, it's still a General Lee. I mean, you know, it's got to. It's General Lee. Sorry, but Daniel, you're quite welcome to your opinions, and thanks for throwing that one in the mix. Absolutely. JJ, from memory, there was many shortcuts taken at the various Triumph NVT manufacturing and assembling plants during the 1980s, and many new bikes were just plain badly made. Well, that was certainly contributed towards the demise of the British motorcycle industry, didn't it? They were cutting corners without any doubt. This one is a 1978 and a half, so maybe they were still trying a little bit more there back at that time. I don't know. I don't think that was the reason for failure, though. I think there's got to be a reason, and I'm trying to dig my way in to find out why. A lot more inspection stuff to do yet, and I need to get that main shaft out. And on the particular design of or transmission layout on those old Triumphs, it's an absolute mission. Even changing the front sprocket, so putting a new chain and sprocket kit on the bike, is a major mission, and you need, as by the book at least, you need special tools to do it. I mean, seriously, why would you build a bike that needs special tools? I mean, people have ridden these bikes all over the world. I'm pretty sure it's one of the bikes that Ted Simon, or the bike that Ted Simon, it was definitely a Triumph, that Ted Simon rode around the world. And he would have had to fit many a chain and sprocket kit to the bike. How did he do it? Maybe it's in his book. I'll have to read it again now that I have them. Thanks, Mum. Peter Woodfine. That was in Hooper. It was near the end of the film leading up to the jump with the rocket car. Yes, I agree. Hooper seems to be the movie, but I remember a camera shot, and maybe it was on a trailer that I saw or something, but there was definitely a camera shot where you see the chimney side on coming down. So that finger was the chimney. It's coming down like this. And I didn't see that in the Hooper movie. It was all camera trickery. The car was further away from the chimney than but on the one that I saw, it was really close. So maybe my memory fails me. Maybe, like I say, maybe I've just embellished the movie and added bits in my own mind. Going mad, probably. Now then, Daniel Bedell, Night Industry 2000. That's right, Kit. Somebody's a fan. Kit, if you would prefer. Seriously, these live streams are fun, aren't they? JJ, you do need to be an enthusiast to cure all the oil leaks and exhaust pops and bangs that occur with your classic bikes. Yeah, but why would you want to cure all of them? I mean, okay, the oil leaks tells you there's still oil in there. I mean, even my KTM leaks oil. Base gasket never got fixed. But the pops and bangs, I quite like that. I really enjoy when you come off the gas and you've got a nice hot engine, you've been pushing it hard, and you go bam, 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 as you go into a corner, you know, I like that kind of stuff. You don't really get that on modern bikes much. Simon, how is the push rod set on the trumpet? Is it a BB on a rod? The push rod for the clutch cable enters on the right hand side of the bike. I know this. It goes through some magical stuff inside the outer cover for the gearbox, which then actuates a push rod. Now the force generated the push rod is created by a plate with 3 ball bearings, a bit like the old Honda C50s on the centrifugal clutch, where the plate rotates and the 3 ball bearings ride up on ramps, and that creates that sort of spiral effect, that lift, which then pushes the push rod through, all the way through the gearbox. The push rod is monstrously long, all the way through the gearbox to the clutch. I'm learning as I go. I've not yet pulled the clutch off. The primary chain, the clutch, and the sort of crankshaft sprocket kind of thing you would call it, where the alternator magneto-y thing is, all of that has to come off together because the chain is classed as endless. I read all this yesterday. It sounds like I know what I'm talking about, but I'm only regurgitating the manual at the moment. I've not done the physical work. And you need a number of special tools to get the clutch off and to get the sprocket off at the front. So all of that needs to happen because I've got to get the main shaft out because I want to check the main shaft for run out, as I'm going to do for the lay shaft as well. We'll chuck them in some V-blocks and we'll do a DTI check on them because I need to. Anyway, Pi, right, now then. Where do we get to? Simon, clutch. Yes. JJ, I'm getting 144p from your live, bro. Well, okay. Can I show you? I'll turn the camera around. I don't know if this will work or not. It won't work, but everybody else will get to see it. Right, here we go. So this is what I'm seeing on my laptop. And that's pretty clear. So I don't know what's going on. Oh, there you are, look. Oh, we're going to get a really weird thing happen now. Look at this. That's weird, isn't it? We're like entering a different dimension. What? I don't want that. Remind me tomorrow. Stupid thing. Right, okay, turn you around again. There you go. Very weird. It must be the internet at your end that's causing that problem. I don't think it's the transmission, because how's everybody else? I mean, is it still hanging in there? Are we doing all right? Oh, hang on. Scroll up. Daniel's just given us one. Daniel, both your audio and video are perfectly okay. There we go. Thank you, Daniel. Simon, you're missing the best bit. Daisy Duke. Yeah, she was pretty cool, wasn't she? With a little white Jeep. Yes, I'm sure she was. What can I say on a live stream that's not derogatory? I'm sure that she had many fans, many young lads, very much like Daisy Duke. Great combination though, wasn't it? You see, you've got cars, you've got V8 cars, you've got rallying down gravel roads and doing jumps over humpback bridges, and then of course you've got Daisy Duke as well. And I think in the movie, the Duke of Hazzard movie that was done many years later, they sort of captured that tongue-in-cheek stuff a bit more than in the series. It was funny. I found it funny. Some people wouldn't, but it was good. Poor old Cletus, wasn't it? He snapped his pencil in the office. I remember that. He just couldn't hack it. Yeah, she knew how to work it, didn't she? For sure. Now then, where do we get to? We got distracted again. Daniel, I would absolutely love to see a fully functional Super Pursuit mode kit car. I'm sure you would. Have you ever seen Vanishing Point? Yes, I have. Long time ago. Don't really remember too much about the movie, but I have seen it. That was Keanu Reeves, wasn't it? Vanishing Point, I think. Sheldon, talking of quality control, I used to do pre-deliveries on Commodores in the early 90s, but you had fun with that. Had a speaker not working once, pulled the panel, there was a note. Haha, how long did it take you to find this? What a bloke! Somebody was obviously having a really bad day in the factory that day and just thought, right, that's it, I'm going to have a joke. That's brilliant. Honestly. Was that one of the ones that was made in Australia then? I think it would have been, wouldn't it? Mike Adams. Good job, mate. Daniel, I know the pie's ready. We've got to get to the pie. Oh my word, there's so many comments. Nick from the YouTube channel Kicks Garage fully restored a beautiful Dodge car to match his favourite car from his favourite movie, Vanishing Point. Nice. Even did it in the same colour, Alpine white. Bloody hell. Mike Adams, sounds like my luck along the same line of universal parts, fitting everything in the universe, but the project I'm working on, the part is claimed to fit. Yes, I know the feeling, to be honest. Mike Adams, Andy, your video has gone back to crystal clear again at my end. Thank you very much. It seems to be pretty good on the laptop. And I mean, my laptop's, well, I suppose it's receiving about 20 megabytes, so it should be fine. So yeah, seems all good. Thank you for the update. Appreciate that. Daniel Bedlick, pings the nearest towers to you. We've only got one tower. There's just one. It's over there. We don't get any more than one. If that tower ever went down, there'd be no internet. Not for us. Now then, where do we get to? Scott, 720p. Okay. That's good enough. Daniel Bedell, to get a fairly accurate upload and download speeds. Yeah. Well, that should be what it did, because it's pointing that way. Jay, 720 here now. 2. Chris Z. Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds. Now that's a cool car. And it did an epic jump. Didn't do it any good when it landed though, to be fair. And it did end up in the crusher. But yes, it is. That was a cool car. But even so, I still go back to the General Lee. I'm sorry. There are some pretty iconic cars out there, aren't there? Ian Edwards, she worked it a lot, like the Tool Girls, lol. That seems like a distant past now. Yeah, we'll have to get Holly back, aren't we? I know. Maybe we'll try. I'll try. Maybe I can try and do a live stream or an evening with Holly on like a messenger conversation kind of thing and film that. I don't know how I'm going to work that, but because I have no idea and no technical ability of having 2 inputs in different areas of New Zealand onto the same live stream feed. There's no way I can do that. Far too complicated for a poor mechanic like me. But maybe on a messenger video call, we could give her a shout and see how she's getting on. Because I've not spoken to her for a while, to be fair. JJ, agreed. Popping and banging on the overrun on a big Jap 4 was the rite of passage back in the day. Definitely. Newbie Mechanic. Hello, Andy Mechanic. Good morning, Newbie Mechanic. Welcome back to the workshop, sir. Mike Adams, Chris Z. You are referring to the 73 Mach 1 Mustang from the original Gone in 60 Seconds movie, or the Shelley from the Nicolas Cage remake. I was referring to the Nicolas Cage remake, to be fair. I haven't watched the original Gone in 60 Seconds, although I am aware that it exists. I did see that. I saw the thumbnail once, scrolling through one of the streaming platforms it was. Newbie Mechanic, I have not watched you in ages. I remember the MR2 stuff from a few years back. I sent over the ECU. It's a vague memory, lol. You were the saviour in that whole project. And it bloody worked, didn't it? We plugged it in, we scoped it, and there we had known good waveform. It was a really good end to what was an absolute bastard of a fix, was that one. I enjoyed doing it and learnt a lot from it, I must admit, and it's helped so many people around the world as that series. Not just testing the igniter, but just the whole way that the ignition system works, and I think really using an oscilloscope as well, because in the videos I showed how it was all plumbed up and everything as well. So yeah, I'm very pleased that we did those videos, and really, really impressed that you were part of it. It worked out fantastically well. So again, thank you very much. Where do we get to? Mike Adams, the original Gone in 60 Seconds Mustang still exists in a museum in California, last I heard. Wow. Simon, can you not use Zoom for a 2-way live stream and just stream that? Ooh. I don't know. Can you link a Zoom to YouTube? I don't know. Huh. Got me thinking now. I tend to stick with what I know, but that's a good idea. Connor K, Vanishing Point, classic fast driving movie. Also, the original Italian Job. I think we've discussed the original Italian Job. A phenomenal movie. No questions whatsoever. A classic. I'm not going to try and do any of Michael Caine's expressions. It just wouldn't do it justice. But when they blew the doors off the van and his response, yeah, classic. And it's those kind of phrases that just live on forever, don't they? You know, we still use those every now and again when something happens where you've massively overdone something. That's a phrase that you can throw in there and everybody understands what you're on about. It's pretty cool. Where do we get to? Daniel Bedell. The 1971 cult classic Vanishing Point movie. Very cool. One more to go, Simon, and then we're going to get the pie. On the subject of scopes, needs some info on Fiat with a Bosch 8 ABS system logged into Fiat eLearn and it had known good and bad waveforms. That's cool. That's really cool. Daniel, I'm also a super fan of the Alpha Team A. Alpha Team A? Not familiar with that. Okay, before it all gets out of hand, let's go and get this pie because I'm getting hungry. Right, turn you around. 3, 2, 1, boom. Here we go. Oh, golly gosh. We talk about all sorts of stuff, don't we? Makes it fun. Boom. Okay, how's it looking? Oh, it doesn't look. Oh, hang on. I'll put it on the dirty part of the pie warmer. We've got we've got a bit of lift on there. Look. Jeez. Okay, here we go. Back towards the internet, so hopefully the picture's okay. We'll stick it on the bag for a second because that's about the only clean surface in here. Turn you around. 3, 2, 1, boom. There we go. Is that right? That'll do, won't it? That's near enough. Okay, so pie time. Now, for those that have joined us, not right from the start, obviously, this is a steak and cheese, or it should be. That was the plan. It's from a baker's called Bakerman's. They're an independent bakers up in Tokoroa, not too far from here. And these are made in-house, so these are a bespoke pie. You can only get these from that particular bakery. And there you go. There's the top. We'll do a little scan around. We've got a bit of lift on the. Oh, look at that! Hello. Okay, a bit of lift on the lid, which isn't good. A lot. It has got puff pastry on the top, but it's nowhere near as deep as on that previous pie last week. There we go. Look. So we've got some serious failure of the bonding around the lid to the base. Underneath, the base looks pretty good, actually. Yeah, no major cracks. Okay, so we'll go with tradition. I will start at the worst point and give it the best possible chance because that's good pie management. You've got to inspect the pie and decide the weakest point of the pie, and that's where you go in. Nice. Big chunk of meat. There it is, look. That's what you should get with your first bite. Tasty and some real meat. Okay, where do we get to? Oh, the A-Team. A-Team. Brilliant. Yes. I love it when a plan goes together. You know, awesome. Really enjoy it. Murdoch, complete nutter. Face, way too smooth. BA, don't mess with that guy, that's for sure. Hannibal, he held the whole team together. He always had a plan B. And I like the way that they modified all the stuff. You know, they're going to modify a vehicle and do something. It was just cool. And they always fired blanks. Always blanks. You could tell there were blanks all the time. But cool series, the A-Team. I don't know. I think maybe looking back now, maybe it seemed a bit cheesy watching it. But, you know, back in the day, it was a cool series. So hats off to the A-Team team. Good job, people. I love it when a plan comes together. You see, people use that phrase all over the world all the time. I'm sure I say it on my videos now and again. Okay. Notice that I've not had a cigarette yet this morning. Most bizarre. You've kept me so busy with the comments, I just completely forgot to have a cigarette. Now, taste, flavour, contents. I'm going to go for one more bite before we decide on that. And that will include that nice chunk of meat. That actually is pretty nice. It could just be that I'm really hungry. So maybe I'm thinking, whoa, food, you know. Taste, stroke, flavour, contents. So what we're going to give it. I think that's definitely an 8. It might get better. We'll see. Now, I've just remembered something. Now, I did a little short video yesterday, which hasn't gone out on the channel yet. It's going to be, you will never see it. It's a video from me to my grandfather, Ken. He's 100 years old. He was 100 years old. I think it was on the 12th, a couple of weeks ago. Yes, he reached 100 years old, and he's still going strong. Top bloke. He was in the war, and his job, believe it or not, he was in the Air Force, and his job was to load the bombs onto the bombers. You need big balls for that, you know. He'd trundle the bombs across the runway and he'd fit them onto the planes. That was his main role. So, from what I remember, I mean, he used to come into my shed when I was a kid and smoke a sneaky cigarette. Nana wouldn't, you know, she must have known, but she turned a blind eye. And he would tell me all about his experiences in the war, and we'd just talk about stuff. And I was only a kid at the time. I was probably, 12, 13, 14 years old. And I really valued that time with him. And they'd come round on probably 2 or 3 times a week around mid-morning, and they'd bring with them food from the bakery and stuff, and it was nice. I'd have a cup of tea. I didn't drink coffee back then. I'd have a cup of tea out in the shed and talk just with Grandad. So he's a nice chap, really nice chap. Didn't really get a chance to say goodbye to him when I left the UK, which was the case for many of my family and friends, unfortunately. Don't ask me why, I can't tell you. But it's great to see he's still around. And, I wish him many, many more years to come, to be fair. Anyway, back to the pie. And happy birthday, Grandad, if you're watching the live stream. I know Mum watches the live stream, so she'll probably be in tears right now. Okay, next bit. Structure fully partners. Well, it's even despite the puff pastry, it's doing pretty well. There's only a couple of bits on the bench, so not bad. There you go, people. Is it going to focus? I put it level on my head. It should focus on it. There you go. Look. Okay. So, still nice chunks of meat in there. Don't get me wrong, but we have got this sort of gluttonous gravy bit coming through. This sort of filler that we see in many pies. It's still quite tasty. I have no idea what it is. It's probably some kind of starch and stuff. I don't know. Right, another one. Huge chunk of meat. Really good. Definitely an 8. It's pushing me toward a 9 at the moment. So, structure fully partners, despite the problem with the lid sealing on the main carcass, we've not had any issues at all at the moment. So I'm going to score it pretty high, other than we've got the puff pastry falling off all over the bench, and there's quite a lot more on there now. So I'm going to give it, I'll give it a 7 for now, which is quite high, I think. It probably will end up being a 6 by the time we finish, because there'll be a lot more on the bench, but we'll start off with a 7. Now, runability check, absolutely critical. This is really important. If you get distracted, and you forget about your pie and you're trying to explain something, you're waving your pie around, this is where the runability aspect becomes a real problem. So if it's too runny, it's going to start dropping bits out. 45 degrees, maximum 30 seconds. Can you see any movement? No. That's pretty good, isn't it? I can't see any movement whatsoever on there, other than the puff pastry. So that's not bad. That's not bad. It is a pass. Despite that bit just hanging out there, it hasn't moved any further. So I think that's quite a good test. Runability. We've lost some puff pastry at the top again. I'll give it a 9, actually. It's going to lose 1 for the puff pastry, but other than that, we can cope with that, can't we? Meat quality, well, it's been good so far. The meat's pretty good. It's not steak. It's not like you get in a restaurant, but it's still pretty good. I'm going to give them a 9 for that. It does taste pretty good. Pie to crust ratio. Well, there's a really good, we're pretty much the full width of the pie now. So there you go. Sure enough, yeah, of course we've got a bit of pastry on the sealing points around the rim. But in general, the base is not over thick. It is a little bit thicker than the last pie, I think. But the top's extremely thin. So overall cross-section of pastry versus contents is quite low, in all honesty, which is good. Yeah, I'm going to give it I'm going to give it, I think I'll give it an 8. I think that's pretty good, actually. Availability logistics, very simple. You can only buy this pie from one bakery in New Zealand, and that's the one called Bakerman's in Tokoroa. Very limited. You can't buy it online. You've got to go to the shop. So it only gets a 1. It's a shame, because this pie should be more readily available. It actually tastes pretty good. It's still tasting good. Okay, pastry taste rating. Well, I'm going to have to take a bit off, I think. Let me see if I can... We'll do a bit of puff... Oh, geez. We'll do a bit of puff pastry first. Any weird aftertaste? No, it's crunchy. Not over crunchy. Okay, a bit of carcass pastry now. A bit bland. Okay. The puff pastry definitely tasted better. Overall, I'll give it a 5. I think it could be a lot better. Still tasty when cold. We don't know yet. It's not cold. How are we doing? Sorry, I tend to ignore you guys when I'm busy chomping away on a pie. I love it when a plane comes to. Gets me every time. Joe, I pity the fool. Yes. Daniel Bedell, that's exactly what you need to keep your mind off that cancer stick. Lol. Cheers, mate. Connor K, I just emailed you the image of the General Lee Portuguese version. Smart for 2, General Wee. What? No way. I can get it on here, actually. Hang on. Let me just plink across and up my emails. There we go. General Wee. What the hell? Oh, you'll like this, people. Now, can I put that on full screen? I think I probably can. Oh, okay. I'm going to be a bit cunning here because it's going to show Connor's email address. I don't want that. So just bear with me a second. I'll turn you around. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Right. You're out of the tripod now. I'm just going to put my hand over his email address. Look at that. What a machine. That's awesome. Cheers, Connor. Appreciate that, matey. Oh, my word. Terrible camera work. That's pretty cool. Somebody is very dedicated towards the Dukes of Hazzard, but absolutely hasn't got the budget for a Dodge Charger. But they can afford the paint, and that's all that matters. I like that. Good job. Oh, first burp. Remember that one. Okay, we'll carry on with the pie, I think. Bob. Simon, happy 100th birthday. Yes, top bloke. 100 years old. Honestly, if I mean, I'm only halfway there, right? I'm 50. I was 50 this year. If I can live for another 50 years, just imagine how many videos are going to go out on the YouTube channel. It'll just be thousands and thousands and thousands of them. And I'll be this old white-haired crone hunched back over. Oh, well, I'm going to fix this today. You know, but I'll still do it. I'm sure I will. How long will I last? Nobody knows. But I suppose at the end of the day, the videos will always be there, won't they? So, you know, when you miss me, just watch a video. I'll be there somewhere, hiding on YouTube. But no, in all seriousness, he's done an amazing job to last that long. And I think Mum's been a big help to that as well. She's been looking after him for quite some time now. It's pretty good. To be fair, I don't really taste much cheese in it, though. Now then, where do we get to? Daniel, but who the bloody hell am I to judge because I chew my tobacco. Okay, there you go, mate. AKA snuff. Snuff, yeah. Peter Woodfine. Daniel, that snuff is not to be snuffed at. These jokes are getting worse. 1967, DKB. Have you seen a movie, Cars That Ate Paris? No, I absolutely haven't seen a movie called Cars That Ate Paris. I was in that movie as an extra and saw most of it being filmed. Wow. To be fair, it's quite cool being an extra. I have done some extra work. What's it called? It's just the Broken Wood series. There you go. So there's a New Zealand filmed series. It's like a detective kind of thing out in the sticks. And I was on a couple of the Broken Wood episodes. So if you ever want to if you can get hold of it in wherever you are in the world, and you want to watch some kind of a series that's a bit of fun, it's not a bad series, to be fair. There's probably 3 or 4 series, you know. I think there's a new one just being released, so it would probably be series 2 or series 3 that I was in. Watch it, see if you can spot me. It's quite funny. That was a while ago. Now then, my claim to fame. Simon, my mate's granddad told me about when he was at the Easter Island nuclear test. What the hell? The troops were told to crouch with hands in front of their eyes as the bomb went off. Said he's seen his bones in his hand. Holy crap. That's some serious shit right there, isn't it? That's straight from the horse's mouth as well. I mean, you can't dispute that kind of stuff. That is just monstrous. Daniel, love the plays with the words, Pete. Yes. Joe, hell of a ride. Simon, by the time you get to 70, it will get funny when you have Alzheimer's. Did I just say that? Man, I'm forgetting stuff already, and I'm only 50. Seriously, I know that I know whatever it is I'm talking about, but I'm there going, what is it? Where's it gone? It was in my head before. I know it was there before, but it's gone now, and it's just a weird sensation. It really is. I have to look things up now that I should know off by heart. It's almost like an anti-learning thing. You know, you spend half your life learning stuff, and then of course you start to forget it again. It's weird. Daniel, as long as you don't become like spoiled milk, you'll be fine, Andy. Spoiled milk. Well, I hope not. I hope to stay the same as I am. Mike, I can afford a 69 charger as long as it's one that comes in a cardboard box and assembled with glue on. Airfix kit, Dodge Charger. I agree, that's all I would ever be able to afford as well. I think my brother, Phil, had a General. He used to collect cars, you know, model cars, in the actual, the die-cast cars. And I'm pretty sure, from memory, he had a General Lee. It wasn't a little tiny Matchbox thing. It was probably about 8 inches long. And he kept it in the box. And he kept all his cars in the boxes because obviously they're worth a lot more money. He's an accountant now. Worth a lot more money when they stay in the box, and you can never play with them. They just look at them in the box, which I think is a bit odd. Anyway, but at least he had one. Mike, I've done that one. Sorry, Daniel. I heard that Mike and I agree. I heard that Mike and I agree. I'm the same way. Okay. The Hot Wheels Matchbox cars, yes, I used to have loads of those. But I mean, I used to use them. I used to play with them and just take all. Most of them had lost most of the paint, to be fair. Anyway, back to the pie. So, still tasty when cold. It is cooling down. It's still quite tasty, actually. The meat's got a real strong flavour to it. It's good. So yeah, I think it's going to be pretty tasty, actually. I'm going to give it. I might give it an 8. I think I'm going to give it an 8 on that one. Now, packaging design. Unfortunately, it's going to fall flat on its face because it's just a plain paper bag. That writing is my own. I added that, so you know, a bit of a note. It's very useful for that kind of stuff, but even so, it's still just a plain paper bag. Not really any thought gone into it. It's not brown, it's white, but hey, there's no real difference. So they get a 1 for that, unfortunately. They just go out and buy a standard bag. Now, recyclable score. It's a paper bag. Of course it's recyclable, but they don't tell us. It doesn't have a plastic liner to it, and there's no indication that it is actually recyclable. There's no printing on it whatsoever, so they only get a 9. Because some people don't know. You've got to tell some people that you can actually recycle it. Post-pie heartburn, only 1 burp so far, so we'll leave that for a bit more. Stuffability score, so we get to finish it. Here we go. The meat flavour, it's really weird. The meat flavour is almost getting stronger as it's cooling down. Never experienced that in a pie before. Oh, look at that. See? We had a splurge. Luckily, good pie management. Now, I did spill some gearbox oil on the bench yesterday. So it might give this puff pastry it does a slightly different flavour. Okay. So, did it do its job? Am I now full? Am I still hungry? I'm not hungry. It did a really good job. Am I absolutely can't do any work? No. I'm all right. I think an 8. I think an 8 for that one. It's pretty good. Now, pie server attractiveness. Me and Mrs. Mechanic are sort of at loggerheads with this one. It was a... I don't want to sound mean or harsh, but I have to score relative to the criteria. Simon will fully understand. She was an old grey-haired lady. Old. Really old. But she was nice to talk to. Mrs. Mechanic sort of felt quite at home there. You couldn't eat the pie in the establishment. It was only a takeaway. Didn't really have that kind of ambiance to enjoy a pie there anyway. There was no music in the background or whatever, you know, it was just come and get your pie and then leave kind of thing. But she was old. So I was going to give her a 1. Mrs. Mechanic said, "Oh, you've got to be kind, give her a 5 or a 6. And I'm like, I can't do that. That's not fair on all the other pie servers that we've had in the past because, you know, it sort of narrows the difference between the scores. But out of pure goodwill, I will give her a 2. Another burp. Remember that? So she's going to get a 2. I would suggest, if they want to... I mean, she may be very, very good at her job, as in, I don't know if she bakes the pies or not. I think she just does the front counter. But if they want to get a better score, they're going to need to get somebody that was maybe born at least in the 90s or 2000s would be great. Anyway, we digress. So she got a 2. That's the end of that. No arguments. It's the way it's going to be. Post-pie heartburn, we've had a couple of burps, so that brings them down to 8. If I ever have any more, then that'll change. So, have we got all the scores? This one took a while to do, actually, but it was a good pie. It was very tasty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got 13 scores. That means we've got all the scores ready. So, grab me a little slip. We've got that ready. Let's have a quick add up. And you can help me with this just in case I get it wrong, because I am known to get it wrong. Okay, turning around, 3, 2, 1, boom. Okay, the video still looks pretty good. No problems there. Okay, so we'll give this a go. 15, 26, 35, 43, 44, 49, 57, 58, 67, 75, 83, 85. 85, that's not a bad score. For a standalone single bakery in the middle of frigging nowhere that nobody else can go to apart from the Tokeronians, that's a pretty good score. So it was Bakerman's. I'll put Tokoroa, just so you all know where it is. Steak and cheese. And it got 85. Right, where's the lid to my pen? Because it's starting to dry off. There we go. It's got to last a few more years yet as that one. Don't want to be buying any more pens. Right, let's go and see where this ends up on the leaderboard. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Keep the focus. Got to be professional. Right. 85. Oh, okay. So, Bonnie Lily. Right. If we just scroll that one down a bit, there we are. Oh, yes. Good flick. So, Bakerman's Tokoroa, 85. Same as a Starbucks steak and cheese. And don't forget, Starbucks are readily available all over the country, or most of the areas of the country. So they'll gain more marks on availability. So the pie itself is better than a Starbucks pie. Bloody cool. I'm actually quite impressed by that. For a single standalone bakery, that's not bad at all. Where's Toad Hall? Toad Hall did pretty well, didn't they? There's Toad Hall. See, Toad Hall was a phenomenal pie. Again, they're all made in-house, and it was a much bigger pie, to be fair. And they only got 90. And they had they had a very high scoring pie server. So, you know, bloody good. Impressed with that. Oh, right, back to the bench. Time for a cigarette. I won't say first one of the day because it's not, but you know. Boom. So I think the old internet seems to be coping pretty well. Why is it the camera always ends up... Oh, I know why, because we just did the thingy, didn't we? There we go. Right, you're level again now. Right. 85. Pretty good. Oh, yes, in the bin. Get rid of that. Oh, crash. Okay, so where do we get to? Oh, only got 2 spare. Jeez. Oh no, where's my lighter? That's even worse. Hang on, bear with me, I need a lighter. I'll go for a wander. Let's go and find a lighter in the workshop. Don't tell me Mrs. Mechanic's taken it. Is it on the table? Ah, there it is, look. Excellent. Need that. Bum, 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 bum. Turn you around again. Now, I was talking to Mrs. Mechanic the other day about lighters. You see, everything has a segue, doesn't it? Why did Bic, and the guy Bic, I was reading about it, the guy Bic, very clever chap. He designed the Bic pen, which of course we use all over the world. He also designed the Bic disposable razor, made lots of money out of that, and he designed the Bic lighter. And I was trying to find out why he went for an oval kind of cross section on the lighter. And I think I've worked it out. Often people will leave the lighter on the ground. You know, sit down, have a cigarette on the ground. And this is what Mrs. Mechanic does. She leaves the lighter on the ground. And when you want to pick the lighter up, if it was square, you'd have to reach right down with your whole hand to grab it and try and get it off, you know, try and get it underneath it to lift it. With it being oval, you can put your hand down on one, or a finger down on one side, and it rotates and it lifts up off the ground. And then you can pick it up very, very easily. Is that the reason? Or was that just a secondary effect to the design? A bonus, so to speak? I don't know, but it works really well. Very, very impressed. Mr. Bic was a clever chap. Keep things simple. Oh, the dogs have all kicked off again this morning. Right, coffee is very cold, but we'll carry on. What time are we on? Hour and 24. We're doing well, actually. I want to try and finish about an hour and a half, but that probably isn't going to happen. Where do we get to? Simon. There's a kit for Holly to build. Oh, there's a kit for Holly to build. The Haynes 4-cylinder engine kit to make a good video. Good idea. Good idea. Hang on. I'll take a picture of that, because that's a good idea. She'll like that. I will get one ordered. She can make that on her own, definitely. Daniel Bedell was also into all different gauge of model trains. Oh, I never really got into model train. I was a scale electrics kind of a kid. Didn't do model trains at all. But there's a lot of people that are. And James May is a massive fan of model trains. He knows a lot about them. Did some videos on fixing them, which is pretty cool. He was the one, I think, that I learned. It might have been Simon, actually. I'm not sure. Or between the two of them, anyway. The fiberglass pencil, the brush for cleaning the armature, definitely works. We saw that in the video. 1967 DKB. Cars That Ate Paris was filmed in Australia in a small town 50 kilometres from Bathurst. And it had cars smashing through houses and all through thought of things cars with spikes. And all throughout the thing cars with spikes. The cars had spikes on them. Okay, I will check that one out. I haven't ever seen anything. I'm just completely unaware that movie even existed. Frank Roots Jr. There was over 325 General Lee cars made for the show. Many of them were wrecked in pursuit of good entertainment. Yes, they destroyed a lot of those cars. Thank you for the stat. Mike Adams. I wish I still had the matchbox-sized Dukes cars and others I had when I was a kid, and an Evel Knievel wind-up funny car. Hard telling what collector value they would have today. I agree. I used to have the Evel Knievel wind-up bike. You know, that was really cool. Man, you could get that thing really spinning, and you could zoom off down the hallway, and you build ramps for books and stuff, and whoosh off into the area to go. That little mini Evel Knievel was a daredevil kind of a chap. He really was. I didn't know they did an Evel Knievel car though. Daniel, what do we have with all our puff pastry today? A little bit of gear oil. Yummy. Yes. Some kind of castor it was. Mobby Lube, or I don't know what it's called. Let's see if they put the right stuff in it. Simon, EP90 as seasoning extra pepper 90. Extra pepper, EP90. Oh, mate, you're too clever. Daniel, 85 out of 130 is a horrible score. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's the best score of the bad war, you know? But the pie itself, if I was just scoring it purely on the pie, as many YouTube channels do, it would have come a lot higher up in the rankings for sure. That's a C-. Simon Roll. Can we start a subcategory within the main pie scores, the best made in-house pie? That's a good idea. Yes, I could try and remember to do that. It may be if you sit on an oval, it won't stick in your side as much. See? Put it in your back pocket, it's not as painful. No sharp edges. I like it. Mike's Automotive Diagnostics. I think that the oval fits your fingers comfortably. It does. It does. You're right. It's got that natural sort of finger curve to it when you're lighting it up. Just happen to have the hot lady behind the flame. How's that for photography, eh? Very good. Mike Adams. Andy, being I'm only a few weeks older than you, I carried two 19-litre cans of hydraulic fluid yesterday. 5 years ago, it wouldn't have bothered me. Today, I feel like my shoulders are about to detach. When we used to have the off-road centre, we used to use jerry cans, 20-litre jerry cans for all the petrol that we used for the little Suzuki Jeeps and the quad bikes and stuff. And one of my party tricks was to be able to lift the two jerry cans, obviously one in each arm, and lift them up and hold them like that for quite a long period of time. I cannot do that anymore. My shoulders are absolutely shot. They hurt like hell. In fact, it even hurts putting my arms up like that without anything on the end of them. It's crazy. I put it down to falling off motorcycles and doing lots and lots of ATV instructing, where I used to look back over my shoulder a lot at the riders behind, and I think it sort of did all my joints in around the top. Thousands of hours doing that. It's not good. That and other stupid stuff I used to do. But you're quite right, Mike. We're not the same as we used to be. Mike Adams makes a fellow wonder what the hell happened, doesn't it? John Nuttall. Could the box damage be linked to the rear wheel bearing fail? Did the chain lock up at the time as Alan took it for its test? But we do know Silicon Man has been in there, don't we? We do. The rear wheel, and on the first video that's going to go out, there is an interview with Alan via Facebook Messenger video. So he gets to talk all about the actual occurrence, because a test ride was impossible post-event. It just wasn't going to happen. It could have caused more damage. The rear wheel did not lock up. The chain did not come off. So I don't believe it was anything to do with the back end of the bike. Daniel, I think you should do a ghost pepper challenge live stream. A ghost pepper challenge. Explain yourself, Daniel. What is a ghost pepper challenge live stream? Is there a YouTube channel called Ghost Pepper? I don't know. Simon, did anyone ever tickle you when you did that with the jerry cans? I think probably Auntie Melly. If there's anybody around within the staff that would have dared to do that, it would most likely have been Auntie Melly. She was one of our top ATV instructors, top lass. We would send her out in all weather, including sleet, snow, freezing rain, at night. We often did night runs with the quad bikes in the summertime, and they would come back at sometimes at 10 o'clock at night, pitch black, and she'd be out with maybe other instructors and maybe 20 customers. It was a phenomenal sight to see it. You could see all the lights coming over the hills, and you could hear the whine of the little CVT drives, coming across the hill. She was brilliant, in all honesty. Looking back, she did a phenomenally good job, and she genuinely really enjoyed it. Very, very cool. Different time, a different era back then. Mike's Automotive Diagnostics. After tearing my rotator cuffs, Doc told me to keep all weight close to your body. Yes. In hindsight, probably a really good idea. I'm 57 years old, says Mike. I'll be very happy if I get to 57. Well, I won't. I mean, I'll be happy at 57 that I've got to 57, but I'll be aiming to get a bit older than that, to be fair. But yes. Okay, I've got that to look forward to. AJ44, hi all. Damn you, Andy. I found a New Zealand pie at a truck stop, warmed it up in the oven, and now I'm addicted. Can't remember the brand, but I'll let you know the name next week. Damn you, lol. AJ, all good, matey, all good. Welcome to my club. Daniel, you'll see what it is. Oh, okay, I'll check it out. Any more? Simon, close one chapter in life and open a new one. It's all part of the big learning curve. It sure is. So, I think we've just about done it, haven't we? We've done the power review. We've talked all about Dodge Chargers and Smokey and the Bandits and Dukes of Hazzard and falling chimneys and Burt Reynolds and Kit the amazingly gadget-filled car. It's been great. And we've even talked about the Trump for a little bit too. You guys, I'm sure will very much look forward to the videos when they come out. They're all in the can. I've got everything ready to edit when I go away. So hopefully the first video should hit the channel maybe in about a week's time. We'll wait and see. Oh, Dave, 123. I just got here. What's the Triumph on the lift for? It's broken. Seriously broken. No go. Well, the engine did run until I started pulling bits off it. Probably does still run actually, but you couldn't start it because there's no kickstart. But anyway, yes, it's not very well at all. Alan broke it. I blame Alan completely. He alleges that he's only done 6 kilometers on the bike since he bought it. Most likely the reason for failure was the person that rebuilt the gearbox or the entire bike. They used an entire tube of silicone all over the place, some sealant, so that's not a good sign. So, Dave, you'll have to watch the videos. And I did 2 yesterday. It was going to be 1 long video, but I decided, due to demand from the viewers, not to do stupid... Oh, the A-team, obviously, Daniel, sorry. Good old Hannibal and his team. Yeah, so watch the video. Find out. It's going to be an interesting one. I mean, maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I'm not. But it's very important that you check everything before you put it back together, because it has to be right. It's Alan's bike. No comebacks. Hopefully. Anyway, okay, crew, that's going to be it. Thank you all for joining. It's been a wonderful morning talking about all sorts of stuff. Just recapped recently. And I will see you next Sunday, 8:30 a.m. Yeah, good luck with all the roadworks. I know it's bad down there. They've had lots of floods and heavy rains. It should be interesting. Luckily, I'm in a 4-wheel drive. So where was I? Yes, I'll see you in Queenstown, 8:30 a.m. on Sunday morning, provided I can get there. Wish me luck. Thanks, Roger. Okay, cool. Oh, Daniel says, Google Ghost Pepper Challenge right quick. Would you make... Okay, all right. I'll do that for you. Jeez. Things I do for you lot. Ghost Pepper. Ghost Pepper Challenge. What's all that about? Okay, there's a video called on YouTube called The Ghost Pepper Challenge. What do ghost peppers do to your body? First question. Ghost peppers are considered the hottest chili peppers in the world, with a measured heat of just under 1 million Scoville heat units. After ingesting this meal, forceful retching and vomiting followed, at which point the patient started to feel severe chest pain and abdominal pain. Why would I want to do that? That looks horrendous. I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. My sincere apologies. But it's not going to happen. Hang on. George Bunny 90, thumbs up. Cheers, George. Daniel Bedell, want to get your reaction on her. Sorry, I meant here. Oh, okay. Day 123, I steer clear of any internet challenges. I think that's a very wise decision. Simon, screw the ghost pepper. Colorado Reaper is now the hottest. Oh, you guys are idiots. Honestly, I'm not doing that kind of stuff. Okay, that's it. See you around. Take care. Thanks for all your support. Cheers.